Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of setting up our kiddie pool system. Well, today I'm going to deliver on getting a drip irrigation set up for this system for practically nothing. Alright, so I have a few things here that you may want to grab before we get started, like a pair of pliers, a razor that you need to be very careful with. See that band-aid? We also have this pick that's going to pierce the line, 1/4-inch tubing that you can get from pretty much any of your big box stores, and we have what we call a goof plug right here that is going to cap off the end of the 1/4-inch tubing. And of course we have our 5-gallon bucket. Alright, the only other thing that we're going to need is our drill. Now listen, if you don't have a drill, don't worry about it. Go ahead and find you a nail, a screw, anything that you could use to pierce your pool as well as your bucket. But it do need to be about 1/4 inch, the hole. Whatever you use, about 1/4 inch for the hole. Alright, hold tight. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is go ahead and put a hole on this side and the opposite side of the pool so that it would serve as an overflow. Okay, I have my 1/4 inch drill bit, and here we go. All right, we're right here. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go to the other side, and once I go to the other side, when I'm done, I'm going to change out my drill bit to a 3/16 drill bit, and that's what I'm going to use to put a hole in the bucket. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is drill a hole as close to the bottom of your bucket as you could possibly get it. And that's where we're going to put our drip line. Okay, so here we go. I usually come up about right here and drill. That's it. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this drip line at an angle. Now this is going to be tough. It's going to seem like it's no way that this is going to go in there, but the thing that it's going to do is going to fit so snug that you're not going to need to put anything on it to hold it in. So once you put it in, you're going to pull with your pliers, and trust me, it's going to slide in. I've got several systems that I've set up this way. I have never had a problem with them leaking. So hold tight. I'll go ahead and get this cut. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get my helper, Baby Green Life, who is always on site, to give me my sharp tool, and we know to hold that tool very carefully. Thank you so much. All right.
But be careful with one of those, because those, they could cut you. It cut Mommy yesterday.
Yes, it did. Thank you. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take this and we're going to cut it at an angle, because what I want to do, listen, we got gnats, flies, everything you could think of flying around. I have a new level of respect for people who do this. Okay, so I'm cutting this at an angle just enough to get it started inside that small hole, and once I get it in there, I'm going to grab it with my pliers, and I'm going to pull it through. So hang tight and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take this. You can do it from the outside or the inside. I prefer to start it out here. What we're going to do at this point, we're going to take our drip line and we're going to puncture holes in it. I've already put a couple of holes in this one. I'm going to get a little bit closer. You're going to take your tool or whatever it is that you're using, and you're just going to pierce the inside of that line. It's going to be a very small hole, but don't worry about that because you're going to have to put the number of holes in it that you need in order for the water to stay consistent with the level that you need. So once you get your hose pierced, you want to go ahead and lay the hose inside of your kiddie pool. All right, if you were not watering from the bottom, you could take and run this through
Mama, slow battery.
through these holes and position these drippers on top, okay? But because I'm watering from the bottom, and it's important to not water from the bottom and the top at the same time, we want to make sure that we choose one or the other. So because I'm watering from the bottom, I'm not going to do this. I've got my goof plug in. All right, I'm going to take mine and I'm going to lay it in my rocks. Now you could put it under the pebbles or you could put it on top. It doesn't matter. But let's go ahead and do that. Then we're going to put our water in our bucket and we're going to see what we got going. Also, make sure that your bucket is sitting up higher, your reservoir or whatever it is you're using, make sure it's sitting up higher than what you're trying to feed water to. All right, so we're going to take our line we're going to take our bucket and we've got our line coming from our bucket. We're going to run it in and through the bags, okay? All the way around. All right, and that's basically all that you're going to have to do to keep water in this system. Notice also we have decorated our bucket, seeing how we do live in a neighborhood. We don't want anything to stand out as an eyesore. And of course you can see we have a neighbor that lives pretty close right there. So yeah, just wanted to do something that would not stand out so much with a bucket just sitting there on blocks or whatever you choose to use. All right, so there you have it, folks. Your DIY kiddie pool system set up. Just a few tips before we end it. Make sure that you have drilled your hose at least 1.5 to 2 inches up from the bottom in your kiddie pool. You can adjust your drill bit or hole, nail, whatever you're using. You could adjust it so that your hose will go in if you find that a 3/16 inch drill bit is a bit too small for whatever tubing that you're using. Keep an eye on it for the next couple of days just to see what it's going to do as far as your water is concerned. And by the way, you could use a trash can, anything. It doesn't, a barrel, it doesn't have to be a 5-gallon bucket. This is just what I do because it's compact and it works for me. Remember, we did plant corn, so it's going to take quite a bit of water. Alright, so that's it. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Share this. I also have a more complete information video on how to put together an irrigation system like this one, complete with pictures showing you exactly what you need to do, how to go about it, just in case you missed something or didn't quite understand something that I was trying to explain to you. So, thank you for hanging out with us today. Remember, save your seeds. If you're not going to save your seeds, plant them or give them to someone who will.